These beats are the purest. Roll it, roll it. All right, hello, good evening, Aurora Esports. I'm FlamboJambo, joined by the incredible RiddleDog and
Hello.
Booney here on the casting job this evening. We have the match, technically still the first playoff bracket here between the 5th seed of the Junkyard Dogs taking on the 12th seed of the Roseville Raiders 2. This will be our first match of the evening. There will be a second one right after. So even when this game's done, don't go anywhere. Keep watching the Twitch stream because we're still going to be here. With that, I'm excited for this game. Raiders have had kind of a resurgence the last couple of weeks. And I mean, maybe they can hold on to that tempo. Maybe dethrone this team that's been looking really strong over this season. But Riddle, how are you feeling about this game?
I'm feeling good. The Raiders able to come off a 2-0 victory over the mischievous Monokumas, knocking them out of the play-ins early, and it's really just the inspirational story of the Raiders too, because it's the friend team, you know. So you wouldn't expect too much, especially looking at the average SR. Like in the beginning of the season, they were projected to be the worst team, but they are far from that right now. So they are able to pick up another friend as well during the free agent window of Artie, and so they're looking to really punch above their weight against this 5th seed Dogs here. And what will help them is that the DPS line of the Dogs of Akua and Roar are gone. They have Invictus in for Akua and Nathan in for Roar.
Yeah, and those are big losses to have, especially in such a high-stakes game. I wonder then if we're gonna see some of these, Junkyard Dogs used to play kind of that, or like to play that style of, Roar on the Junkrat, kind of chaos comps. But I wonder if now with Invictus and matched up against etc., if we'll see some long-range hit scan coming from both these teams, as we will be going to Ilios as our first map of this evening. So we'll see if we get Ruins, but I know this was a Junkyard Dogs pick. They do consider it to be the silly map, and we will go into Ruins. So do you want to see the matching Widowmakers here, Riddle?
And that's like Elliot's bread and butter, the Widowmaker. Like anyways, like even when the Red Pandas went up against the Roseville Raiders back when, a lot of my team were messing around because they're friends with this whole squad, but Elliot was like still popping off on the Widow, like this just constant threat. He, even on the Monokumas match, he got I think like a 4K or 5K on Numbani. So it'll be really cool to watch this Widow God versus Mr. Minvictus on the Widow.
Yeah, and another key note though is Fruitles here on the Doomfist has really been showing off this season. So I don't know if he's gonna have etc. facing that pressure from the Doom. We'll see how that ends up working, as we see kind of an unconventional Kiri Lucio Doom pick here for the side of the Junkyard Dogs. We do get right into it. Both Widows grappling up, looking for these early shots as the Doomfist is in, getting punched a little bit on a nade forced out by Kevin Toyota to keep his team alive, keep everyone up. A big sleep on a Fruitles. Fruitles not going to be able to be in this fight for much longer, as early point control by Purple Jesus as he's going onto this Widow in the background, but is falling dangerously low. Purple Jesus needs some help as Fruitles gets the punch, gets the slam. Purple Jesus will get that med pack as the point is slowly going in favor for the Raiders. But Nathan is behind him, gets spotted but out, and big slam by Fruitles onto Kevin Toyota, but Purple Jesus still in the background, finds Invictus first. That's the first casualty of the site. But Verenum almost punched off the map as now the Doomfist is in. Silent Storm, D-Max Purple Jesus, and Cap falls in that backline. It's just Kevin Toyota, and he's feeling so much pressure from this DPS line of the Reaper and Doomfist, and the point will flip for the Junkyard Dogs.
EJ just in the backline of the Dogs. He was getting so low because there was so much pressure out on him, but with just the threat of the Widow from etc. here, it's so hard for the Dogs to really commit on to PJ there, just because they'll give up all that space. But they were able to pick some off in the front as well as kill PJ. So
we do see Brutal taking that aggressive dive on etc., knocking him off of that high ground. Etc. Not having the grapple just yet to get up there as Viridium trying to pick the fight with his Doomfist, and PJ catching out Flip Flop forces the transportation as Nathan getting anti. PJ though so low in this mech, forced to play a little bit safe as the punch on the Viridium. Viridium's in low, and Victus gets a headshot. Both DPS are now dead for Roseville Raiders as the fight continues. As Purple Jesus getting punched around, has to back out, needs to play a little bit safe as the Doomfist is in by Fruitles. Gets a big punch onto Kev. The Doomfist all comes through on top of Kev.
Whoa.
Finds Kev. And now PJ gets the D-Mech as well. So now Kevin Toyota in trouble. PJ dead. And these are some really late staggers if you're on the side of the Roseville Raiders.
Brutal's getting 5 that fight technically with that last pick onto Viridium there as well. As a nice shot comes out from Invictus early in that fight. It's just what they need. Elliott fall low again, but they're going to have Nano Blade up soon from the Raiders. They just need to hold on a little longer with this site's coming online.
Yeah, and that's kind of the difficult part here for running the Brig.
Ooh.
As Invictus, another nice shot onto Etc. there. Already picking off that key hit scan player as we see the Rally and the Nano both coming out. But Nathan with a huge Blossom finds Kevin Toyota. Purple Jesus fall, or finds Invictus as Silent Storm will also fall. Blade comes through by Viridium, but Flip Flop finds Kev. There's no support for the Roseville Raiders, but there's no DPS or tank for this side of the Junkyard Dogs. And Purple Jesus will head on to the point, trying to make something happen as we need to see Flip Flop and Viridium fighting in this backline. Flip Flop in trouble. Can they get the pick on her? They will. She's not able to get teleported to safety. And Silent Storm picked up by Etc. as well, trying to get close enough for that teleport, but instead getting punished for playing so aggressive forward.
So many ults to use from both sides right now. I see even Kevin Toyota move over to the Moira from the Ana. Just he's sick of getting dove on by Fruitles and just this damage from Nathan. He's done. It's over. They only have Diva Bomb versus this beat end Meteor Strike coming online. It's gonna be rough for them. They need something
Nathan
real
looking for
fast.
this backline. We'll find Viridium first as another big punch finds Etc. and Kev falling low as well. The Diva Bomb and Beat are both sent out. Diva Bomb won't find anything. Meteor Strike comes down as well, also won't find anything, but Nathan finds Kev. That's the Brig out of this fight. Silent Storm looking for anything. Nathan finds Kevin Toyota. Silent Storm punching damage into that Diva. Will get D-Mech by a nice shot by Invictus.
Oh no.
As the Junkyard Dogs will take this point and the boop as well to finish it off by Silent Storm. And that's a pretty one-sided take for the side of the Junkyard Dogs on the map that we were kind of thinking might favor the Roseville Raiders.
Yeah, Invictus looking a lot really good on that Widow against Etc. here. Just with this upfront damage from the side of the Junkyard Dogs with the Reaper and Doomfist even. It's hard for really anyone to catch them even with the support line. As you do see PJ move over to the Junker Queen at the Donger herself. As Etc. he knows he's not going to be able to run Widow here, so he just goes Sombra.
Yeah, another pretty similar comp here, just swapping over to the Ashe for the side of the Junkyard Dogs over the Widowmaker. A lot closer of a map, kind of harder to get that value off the Widow, so Dynamite good at clearing some of these big choke points here on this point, as we see early aggression by both teams fighting in these cages. Purple Jesus in a little bit of trouble, punched out by Fruitles, forced the shot already as Corbin Toyota. Also as the pseudo Viridium falling very low gets punched. They will stay alive. Kev barely keeping the team alive as both of them fall very low, but Viridium gets first blood onto Nathan. Fruitle's hacked up as well. Needs to be careful, taking a lot of damage by Etc. As Silent Storm booping him away. That will secure point for the Junkyard Dogs. But Silent Storm goes in a little bit too deep. Will fall to the axe swing of Purple Jesus. As now Fruitle's kind of separated from his team. It's just him and Flip Flop trying to find anything. But Invictus finds Kev first. Big pick by him as now Etc. and Fruitle's trying to make things happen. Viridium gets punched into a wall. Invictus will get the follow-up as PJ falls low as well. Will get killed by Nathan, Etc. as well. These are huge headshots by Invictus as he already has a Bob.
The Raiders were able to play that early fight, just bunkering in that little cage area, but once they got one, they weren't really able to run on anyone else. They weren't able to catch Invictus. And with Flip Flop and Invictus just being able to survive, you'll see both their ults come online as they do so
Big
much
punch
that fight.
knocks in Purple Jesus too deep. Meteor Strike as well to separate him even further. Purple Jesus in trouble, gets punched in. The Bob in the backline finds Kev and the Kiriko ult to make sure that they win this as the anti-nade comes through as well as the Bob finds 3 of that fight. So really good good job by the Junkyard Dogs. They expend their Bob gate and slam, but they've make that fight count.
Yeah, just it's so rough for the Raiders because the early cap out from the Dogs, they're already at 70% now. They're gonna have to use somewhere else. Not all of them though, because it just spells disaster for the next
We
fights.
do see Gate come through, but what a big death blossom by Nathan. We'll find Kevin Toyota, etc., and then Viridium picked off as well by Flip Flop. So that kind of kills all that momentum there. The Gate is used by the Roseville Raiders, so now they have to play even slower. Now they're going into a beat. They have both DPS ults, which can definitely make something happen here, but you're at 93% and counting.
Yeah, you're hoping Elliot can look to get this Ajax here as well.
Kev with an early beat only finds him. Kevin Toyota as well, very low, gets knocked out of the fight by Fruitals, etc. Forced to translocate as well. That EMP is going to be so much slower to get into this fight. Viridium, 1 HP as well, the big beat by Silent Storm, but the EMP is there. Won't cancel it. The beat does go through, etc. So low. Viridium also low. Will find Invictus as PJ finds 2. They pop the ult to ensure the pick on Silent Storm. Just trying to get any sort of control on this point. Is now Flip Flop's the only one alive. We'll get picked up by etc. at the end there. And we will have a team wipe. But now you're not working with a whole lot of ults for the Roseville Raiders.
Yeah, not a lot from the side of the Dogs either. They got this Meteor Strike coming online really quick, especially with how Fruitals has been charging it. But I know Flip Flop's able to charge this super fast.
Good Dynamite forces PJ and Kevin Toyota back up very quickly, forced to go find that Mega. Is now Nathan setting up, trying to look for some of this pressure on this high ground. Silent Storm up there with them. They're just getting a lot of poke damage up here onto Purple Jesus, Kevin Toyota. A big hack by etc. Trying to find Fruitals. They will get him. Viridium there with the cleanup is now looking in the back line. They're trying to walk here. They find Nathan as the Roseville Raiders trying to find these supports, walking forward, looking for Silent Storm, looking for Flip Flop. Invictus separated, trying to find these picks as well. We'll get away thanks to the Kiriko TP. So good, slow, good pressure by etc. and Viridium finding Fruitals at the start of that fight.
Yeah, they're gonna look to need to use this. They're gonna need to look to use this Rampage here, as well as charge the CMP as Bob comes out early.
Bob comes on to point, is hacked immediately, so we won't find a whole lot of ammo. But Fruitals finds Viridium. That's a big pick. PJ with the Rampage won't find anything because Fruitals has that knockup. Nathan finds Kev though, and Fruitals finds etc. Kevin Toyota is so low, will be picked by Invictus as PJ finds Silent Storm on the back end. But it's just PJ against the world right now as he's trying to find anything on this point as it will flip over. But he will get punched off the map, and that should be it as Viridium now on this point trying to make anything happen. We'll get blown up and shot by that Kiriko. Is now etc. Kef as well trying to stall out just enough time, but Nathan has that Death Blossom, will pop it, and that will be our first map. Ilios going over to the Junkyard Dogs.
Yeah, pretty convincingly. If you don't look at all those fights where they use all of their ults they're just able to win with a lot. They know what they want to do with this Doomfist comp. They've been playing with it all season as well. Even like Nathan and Victus are able to figure it out despite other ringers. And with this new meta, the Raiders haven't practiced a whole bunch of like Junker Queen and all that, so they're just gonna have to try to see what works against this.
Well, it will be their map pick next, so we're not sure where they're going yet as we send off to a map break, but maybe they'll be able to come back, pick something they're a little bit more comfortable with, run down their the game they want to play, and we'll see if they're going to be able to take it up here against the Dogs. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. We're here on map 2 on Numbani. Again, another good Widow map here. Roseville Raiders trying to express that sight lines that etc. is very comfortable with, very proficient on. So, only swap in this map is Kerbalji will be in for Silent Storm. That tends to be the Mercy swap. Usually, I'm saying with an asterisk, but what do you want to see here, Riddle? What do you want to see both teams come out with?
I don't know. I mean, DJ, this was the map that the Roseville Raiders were able to take off the Monokumas last week as well. So, and it was off of the fact that PJ was able to do so much on that Winston and Diva, as well as etc. on that Widow too, with the flanks and crazy shots he's able to hit. So we'll have to see, as it looks like they should be going with an Ana and Zen comp here for the side of the Roseville Raiders against Nathan on the Torbjorn and Invictus on the Widow.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about the Zen, because I mean you're kind of expecting the Doomfist, right? Torb, also interesting. I know very popular on Numbani. Nathan might also like the champion, so we'll see how that ends up working as Invictus tries to go for an early grapple pick, but won't find it quite yet. As etc. won't quite find that shot onto Nathan there. So both teams looking. The Ana nade very early from Flip Flop won't find anything as PJ with an aggressive dive with Nathan. They get, or Viridium, they find Flip Flop early. Invictus falls to etc. with a big headshot as well. And this is a very early point progression here for the Roseville Raiders.
Yeah, I think I like this Zen comp here, because as long as they have the same target focus, then they should just be able to blow up anyone they put Discord on. And with this being a friend team, I could see them all sharing like the same brain cell and trying to shoot the same person anyways. So as long as they've got all hands on deck and Kevin can protect each other, then I'm liking the look of this.
Yeah, they keep playing that explosive, especially with etc. getting these big picks. Kerbalji will have the res for this one, but Fruitles gets immediately blown up and punished for trying to be on that backline there. That Discord orb doing a lot of damage. Viridium and Purple Jesus still back there. Purple Jesus finds Kerbalji as well, so no mercy in this fight. Is now Flip Flop in trouble. PJ and Viridium once again on top of Flip Flop, and she's just gonna end up dying. Invictus trying to get anything, but now PJ's on him. And another nice shot by etc.
I guess Numbani's just etc's Widow map. Ruins wasn't it. He wasn't feeling it, but now he's warmed up. Now he's ready to get going. So I think able to land like every pick onto Invictus so far this map, 3 of them. As you do see Kerbalji move over to the Kiriko from the Mercy.
Over 6 minutes on the time bank to capture Numbani third. This is a blistering speed. This payload has not stopped yet, as we do see Invictus set up, trying to find a pick here on this Widow, as PJ will have his Bombo as well, will send it back, trying to find something, will get Flip Flop and the turret. That's 2 in my books. Purple Jesus looking to punish Invictus, falling very low. Fruitles is there, trying to mark Viridium there as well, though, trying to get some of this counter aggression, but Invictus will be the one getting the blood onto Viridium, as Kef, again, chunking down this Torb turret, as this payload's still moving forward, not stopped quite yet, but no Genji here, might slow down the progression of the Raiders just a little bit. Purple Jesus again, going for Invictus, trying to get this space out, as they look for now Fruitles, playing a little bit too far forward, as etc. will get that pick with the help of his visor, as now PJ, with such an aggressive position, is able to just hold all this space because there's no tank, but Invictus instead finds Kef, as etc. Follows it right back up. An early Bionade as well from Flip Flop. So we'll see as both Nano Divas come through. They sleep on the Fruitles. Fruitles isn't going to be able to find anything. Forces out the Torb goo as Purple Jesus gets anti as well. In a lot of trouble. Does get demeched. But will find Kerbalji off the back of the Fruitles. Still in that all-important mech with the Genji looking for the Widowmaker. They got Viridium, he pops the blade, will die as a big bomb by Fruitles. Finds both etc. and Kevin Toyota. And that will send the Roseville Raiders back to spawn for the first time on this map.
Yeah, just is super important that the Dogs win that, just because of how right at the end as well. But They just need to get a stable foothold, stop the snowballing. Granted, the Raiders do have Diva Bomb as well as Transcendence coming online, but they have their
on,
own
etc. Punished a little bit for playing a little aggressive, taking that aggressive angle, trying to find that early pick. As Frudels does scout him out, get that pick himself. So, Roseville Raiders still having to play a little bit slow there. They are facing a gate by Kerbalji, but they have the trans to stay alive through it, as well as a bomb from Purple Jesus can maybe find a big pick on someone that they're looking for here. Kerbalji playing a little far forward, is getting picked out a little bit. The bomb comes out. We'll find the turret, so no Torp turret that you're gonna have to fight. Invictus finds Viridium again. It's Frudels now in the back line. Trying to find these picks. We'll get Nated to stay alive for even longer. Won't find any picks himself, but etc. finds Invictus once again. Etc. finds Kerbalji. There's not gonna be a gate anymore for the Junkyard Dogs, and now the Roseville Raiders trying to pounce. Frudels has that Discord orb on him, taking so much pressure. Has to be Nano to stay alive. As another sleep by Kevin Toyota. The trans as well, just to keep the team alive, as now anti-nade Suzu cleanse on Frudels as the gate comes down as well. Viridium so low, needs to be careful as Invictus finds Kef on this off angle. Viridium so low, will get picked as well by Invictus as etc. We'll get that return fire as Purple Jesus finds Nathan in that backline, still trying to find Frudels, trying to get him before the remake. He does find it. Kerbalji and Flip-Flop are the last two standing. It's just them in a turret. Flip-Flop will fall from Purple Jesus. It's just Kerbalji on point, trying to fight for life. Has the Suzu, trying to find anything. Will fall, stalls the cart for a little bit as we see the swap over to Hanzo by Nathan as Invictus falls through, etc. Both Diva Bombs, but it's not enough. They're not able to touch.
2.5 minutes is still a long time. I mean, granted, they had 6 minutes, I want to say, pushing into third, but so it was a relatively good hold from the Dogs, able to take off 3.5 minutes there, but it's just so back and forth with etc. and Invictus right now. Etc. able to get the best of them a lot of the time, and then Invictus on that third point pouncing back.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that kind of Widow dynamic, if both teams still lock the Widow, if that kind of changes based on attack or defense sided for both of these teams. I know etc. definitely likes playing attack Widow a lot more. It offers a lot more freedom of movement of the different angles he can be coming from, but we'll see if Viridium and PJ are going to be able to keep up this really aggressive dive style onto the backline, trying to find Flip-Flop over and over, as well as Kerbalji. They're doing incredible jobs of just tunneling that backline, getting those all-important picks at the start of these fights. So then Frudels is just feeling so much pressure from that Discord orb, and he's not really able to exist as much. So if the Roseville Raiders keep up that aggression, keep up that style of play, I think there's going to be a really good map for them and a really strong hold.
Yeah, it looks like the Dogs are going to recognize that the Zen is the pick with Kerbalji moving over, as well as that the Widow, etc.'s Widow is really a problem. Or just they need to be able to punish something. So that's why they have the Discord and this hack, as Nathan comes over onto the Sombra as well.
And we see a Winston as well. Does help kind of separate the aggression of that Widow with those bubbles, as he early jump by Frudels. Does get discorded and is feeling a little bit of pressure, but he has the Ana, but never mind. Ana can't heal that much damage as PJ will find him first, as etc. as well finds the Ana, trying to keep that Winston alive as Junkyard Dogs having to back out very early.
It's just the power of this Zenyatta. A lot of people are so worried about these other characters that seem like they should be like they're OP and everything, while Zen is just chilling with his Discord orb, just hanging out, you know? As long as he puts on Frudels, it's
Nathan
really a death sentence.
etc.
Yeah, Nathan's right on etc. by this mega health pack on the.
We see the dive by Frudels once again. Just trying to get some trying to get anything, but etc. with a nice shot on Nathan, but Invictus finds Kef. That's a lot of pressure off of your Winston now as PJ looking for Invictus in this low ground, but the Winston as well on Viridium, on and etc. PJ will get stunned up, knocked out of that mech as Kerbalji pumping in the damage herself as etc. finds Kerbalji. Viridium in so much trouble though. Kevin Toyota trying to keep him alive, but a big anti by Flip-Flop as Frudels is able to take so much off of that, but etc. gets that pick as well. Viridium will find Flip-Flop, and it's just etc. now on that point. So really big back and forth for both of those teams in that fight.
Sitter is landing these shots like there's no tomorrow right now, whether it be on people just down main with his passive angle that he's taking, or on Nathan on the Sombra as he's like just gunning him down right next to him. As I mean, Flip Flop trying her damnedest just to really pull this back if she can, but
It looks like Nathan is looking for the Zenyatta instead here as the Winston jumps in there, want the Zenyatta, but he will get naded, so he will stay alive. They instead find Nathan and Fruitles as another point being pressured. Etc. will find Herbology as well. PJ gets slept up, but Viridium finds both kills on Invictus and Flip Flop, and now you're walking into quite a few ults for both teams.
They got Nanoblade with no trans online for Herbology. This could be huge for the side of the Raiders too. If they draw this fight out while making sure Herbology can't get it, this could be second last fight. It's so hard. I think
importantly though, they might not know that Herbology doesn't have that.
Yeah.
They might think that Herbology still has it, so they might try to take a fight before it to try to get it out. But instead, the EMP comes out. Kef will be the first to fall, as now the Fruito's still in the backline. They decide to just pop the Nanoblade. They're looking for it. They get flip-flop. They're looking for Invictus. Will get hacked up as Nathan finds Viridium. That's no more Nanoblade in this fight. Invictus so low, but the Primal by Fruitles will find its center as well. It's just PJ contesting this point. He will pop the bomb, find Invictus, and get the remake. But Fruitles, Herbology, and Nathan are all there, but PJ gets the touch. He's fighting. He just needs to get time. The Zenyatta's on his way back. Kef is there. They get the DMAC, but they can find Herbology in the same time. The rest of the team, the backup has arrived for the Roseville Raiders. Fruitles will be the one to fall.
There's no way. PJ, I was doubting that self-destruct right there. I didn't think he'd be able to do it. We just gotta let him cook.
It's 20 seconds left, and you just have support ults. I mean, the Nano could definitely be big. You can Nano Fruitles, you can find the backline. But Kef has this trans as well.
Yeah, Flip Flop's gotta look for a really aggressive nadier with the help of this Transcendence. She should be able to do it pretty freely.
You do see the Nano, the trans as well, onto point. The trans gets matched in the background, trying to keep the backline alive to this EMP. Kevin Toyota has to nade early. Viridium finds Flip Flop. Fruitles finds PJ, and Kef finds Herbology. It's an even fight right now, but Fruitles is still a tank and still alive. Discord Orb is on him as Kef is pumping in damage, kicks him away. They will find Fruitles with etc. And that's a full hold on Numbani as the Roseville Raiders take map 2 in a 1-1 series.
Miracle plays coming out from both, like, everyone on the Raiders, really, with PJ and that bomb that he had, able to recontest like that, as well as etc. and all these crazy shots he's hitting. It's a miracle right now. I didn't think they'd be able to do it. They're just trying to recreate the magic from their Monokuma's match.
Yeah, well, if they keep up that momentum, again, Raiders, I feel like the word to describe them is momentum, as we will be heading into a quick map break as we'll head to an escort map, but it is Junkyard Dog's pick. So we'll be back with you guys very soon. Don't go anywhere.
beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. The score is currently 1-1 in this big matchup between the Junkyard Dogs and the Roseville Raiders as we head into our map 3 on the incredible Route 66.
A classic, really. We will see Night Edition, though, as well. As you're saying, it may encourage more hit scan as the outlines are going to be quite more vibrant, and it should be easier to hit the shots. So we'll have to see if that really changes anything, which I don't see why it would, because Elliot's been on fire right now in the Widowmaker.
Yeah, we do have a few compositional swaps as Roar has made it back. So Nathan able to be sent out as Roar now back in on that kind of signature flex DPS role. As Silent Storm also back in for Kerbology on that main support role, and Artie in for it was Viridium, right?
Yes.
For Viridium on the DPS role. So we'll see a lot of new faces on here, and we'll see how that changes this map.
Yeah. Rory is going to be come back. Nathan's leaving, sadly, but we'll have to see how this works as Frutals goes over to the Sigma.
Roar with a really impressive angle, but gets scouted out by PJ early. Is forced to recall incredibly soon. Will get the Mega and should escape with his life, but at Center and Invictus both trying to find these angles, looking for these shots. Is now PJ taking this high ground, trying to once again play this Diva dive so effectively as we see the Brig by Silent Storm trying to match that. But Roar will be the first one to get the pick onto Etc.
Yeah, Elliot just taking this really aggressive angle through the Mega as Roar's able to see that and just punish him.
Yeah, so again, the big difference, Roar being back here, on this Tracer, a lot more comfortable for this team. So we might see a lot more pressures, etc. on this map, as we will see the Ramatra switch for Purple Jesus here. Trying to opt for kind of a more brawly fight against Frutals on the Sigma. Both shields are deployed. Silent Storm getting some good chunk in as Kef falls very low, but etc. gets the pick onto Roar. Invictus trying to get the follow-up. Will only hit the body shot as we see Silent Storm and Invictus going at it. Artie will find Silent Storm on top of it. It's Frutals flying dangerously low, but Invictus finds etc. That's kind of your most of your damage coming out now by the Roseville Raiders. Is now PJ has to slow down a little bit. They're still pushing on this cart, but Frutals still has this orb as well. Forced to play a little bit safe as Flip Flop getting this chunk in.
The threat of the Widow is still there. Invictus lurking around with etc. coming back right now. Just
Roar.
so many one-shots.
Very low and will fall to etc. as now PJ still walking forward on this rampage, looking for Frutals. Will commit that Nemesis Swarm, trying to find Silent Storm. Silent Storm needs to be a little bit careful as he's getting chunked down quite a bit. They force out the Bio Natives, etc.
Oh, the Nano.
And the Ramatra ult to match that Nano onto the Sigma, as the big sleep by Flip Flop will take PJ out of the majority of the fight, but etc. gets Flip Flop. Artie will fall as Kevin Toyota finds Silent Storm. It's just Frutals on the cart. Roar is back. They're trying to find anything, but the Nemesis form is there, as they will find Roar and Frutals and Roseville Raiders. Again, not as quick as their Numbani pushes, but will get first with 4 minutes on this clock. As Invictus says a little thank you message to etc.
Etc. did hit the shot, he just didn't charge it fully. So, but this Zen is just doing so much damage, and with that Ramatra that they're running, they can just run all over Frutals with no real damage coming from either Roar or Invictus onto PJ.
PJ as well, swapping onto this monkey, trying to have a little bit more aggression as he does get nanoed. Goes onto the brig, trying to find anything, will get rocked away. Silent Storm as well, getting so much healing by Flip Flop with that nade. Roar trying to chase him, gets the pulse as Purple Jesus will fall. Roar will pay for it with his life as he is antied, but Tracer for a Winston, you normally like that trade.
Yeah.
As etc. meanwhile finds Victus again. Artie will fall to Frutals, gets good rock by him, as etc. they'll find Flip Flop, and those are some big picks by him, as now Winston PJ is now back in this fight, forces out the rally by Silent Storm to try to keep them alive. But a big anti-nade. Silent Storm needs to be careful, but Roar finds etc. as well as the flux by Frutals. He's looking, will whiff. Oh no, Kevin Toyota will fall anyway, but Artie will find Sunstorm, as again that whiff is so costly for that team, as Roar barely scraping out of there alive. We'll find that Mega, and that's disastrous for the Junkyard Dogs to lose out on those picks.
Yeah, they use so many ults. They use both their DPS ults, their tank ult, Brig ult. They only have Nano coming online with this Primal Rage as well as the Dragon Strike, but you know, that pick on that sort of really helps.
Yeah, Primal will be forced by it. Purple Jesus here in the backline trying to find that Widow, opting as the main target here. Will he be able to find Invictus? Will get it, but there's a lot of pressure right now onto Kef on this backline. As now the entire Junkyard Dogs turning to get BJ as Frutals sends a rock his direction. We'll find it. So PJ taking that very aggressive angle to get that pick, but won't be able to quite make it out with his life, as etc. trying to find Flip Flop, but Roar finds Kevin Toyota in that background, etc. falling very low, also picked down by Roar. Now looking for Artie. Artie gets anti, will fall as well, and it's a diva swap for Purple Jesus.
Yeah, it was rough for the Raiders because PJ went in with that Primal, but because they lost out on Severo so early, Frutals just kept up the pressure on point, and they couldn't move in and take advantage of the space PJ was making. So PJ realizes, yeah, they can't use the space with our DPS line, so he just decides to go to the Diva.
Yeah, PJ once again looking for Invictus as Roar in the background, looking for Kef. Kef falling very low, will stay alive as PJ now looking for Silent Storm, looking for Flip Flop. Both Widowmakers set up, trying to find these shots, but Roar still in the background wants Kef, will miss the Pulse Bomb, and will pay for it with his life as a nice headshot by Artie. PJ, meanwhile, up on top here, will get bionated by Flip Flop, etc. Once again, finding Invictus. It's just the three of Frutals. Will get the Nano. Flip Flop will fall as Artie as well, very low. PJ as well, very low. But Frutals finding Artie off of that. Still has the nano on him. The damage reduction is PJ looking for this pick. There's a Discord on top of Fruitals. Fruitals so low, needs the help, but Silent Storm will fall. There's no healing left for him. Roar will find etc. But this card's still moving. Roar going for this aggressive angle. Coming back, will likely get the touch here, but Flip-Flop getting dove by Purple Jesus. Not able to get anything there as the trans comes through as well. As a big sleep on the Flip-Flop will cause her to fall. The trans is used, but now no Ana in this fight for the Junkyard Dogs is really bad for them. Invictus will fall as well as the rally is popped, as well as the flux by Fruitals. The nano comes through on the Captain to keep him alive. He's still alive. And another great sleep by Kevin Toyota. This fight's still going on. Fruitals alone on cart, and it will go through in overtime onto the second checkpoint.
Kevin is hitting these sleeps like crazy as well. Even able to save Kev with that nano. It may have been a panic ult, but Kev was able to get a pick off of it and do damage as well. So it wasn't a complete waste at all, as they still are able to cap second in crunch time.
Yeah, as we do see again, like you were saying, Kevin Toyota hitting those sleeps. Flip-Flop opting to go over to Kiriko, maybe to wake some of her teammates up.
Yep. I know it's been like one of her go-to supports as of this last two seasons.
Will whiz that pulse again, so close on the Kev. Now the backline very low, but Kevin Toyota has that Bionade, will keep the rest of them alive. PJ taking this early high ground as Roar, trying to find etc. We'll get all of his life, but PJ so low on this high ground. Roar looking for him. But the rest of the Junkyard Dogs aren't looking at PJ. PJ's able to get fully healed, looking for this backline. Silent Storm. The ult is there. PJ trying to find something. There he gets Silent Storm. And the remake as well isn't punished as Flip-Flop has the teleport to get away, as well as PJ is able to just fly away, but Artie will get picked up by Roar.
17 seconds left and Artie falls. This is going to be last fight. They're going to have Dragon here, though, with Bob coming online. It's just so difficult for these snipers to work here because of how close quarters this is. They're going to need like a miracle or something right now.
We do see the dragons come through as etc. Maybe he got that miracle finding Fruitals as PJ will also fall to Roar, but no one's able to touch the cart. Kevin's there. The Bionade comes through by Kevin Toyota to keep the team alive, but Roar, meanwhile, in the background, just hitting these shots, able to clean up this fight. Kev still has that trans, staying alive. The gate comes through by Flip-Flop, as well as the Bob, the big Bionade, as Kevin Toyota sends out that nano, but the ball contested by Purple Jesus. They're trying to find anything here. Just keep the clock moving, maybe find something. But all in all, the Junkyard Dogs will end that map here. But no slouch of a push by the Roseville Raiders.
Yeah, it's nothing to scoff at all, especially with how they almost got held on second there. I feel like the Raiders just need to scoot something up there. It's the only reason Cedar was able to pick off Fruitals was because PJ was punching with Discord Orb on him as well, and was just standing in main. So on that third point, they really just need to swap something up, but they didn't have enough time to really do it, as the Dogs they realized last map that they actually have to like worry about this match.
Yeah, so we will see kind of swapped over. Once again, we see the Widow, Hanzo, Ana, Diva for the Roseville Raiders. I wonder if they keep the Zenyatta. It's been working pretty well for Kef. Because we do see, the Hog Fruitals hover.
Surely.
If he walks out on this, surely. But we do see Roar on the Genji, very proficient at that character, as well as Invictus still on this Ashe over the Widowmaker, something that he's a lot more comfortable at. But we do see a swap over to Torb by Artie. Maybe recognizing that either the Genji or Tracer is coming, hoping to kind of peel for the backline a little bit more, allow PJ to go kind of a little more aggressive on those dives and not have to worry about peeling as much. But we will see Fruitals swap over to the Diva as we head into this first fight.
Yeah, the Torb definitely there just to try to contest or on that Tracer or Genji now, I should say as well. But as Roar's really making Kevin and Kef scared, as they haven't had to deal with it until now.
So we do see a lot of space being given over by the Roseville Raiders here, opting to just hold on to gas station, play for the picks by etc. That's kind of what they're hoping to do. Let this turret play aggro as Roar will get the turn as Invictus as well, finding etc. As Roar falling dangerously low, does have the Discord ornament, but Artie might be the one to fall first as Flip Flop and Fruitals on a kill mission in that backline. As PJ himself also knocked out of his mech as Kev and Kevin Toyota trying to make a run for it. The sleep will land, but I think they got woken up, and they should get out with their lives, but a little bit faster of a push by the Junkyard Dawgs.
So far in. It's the bait though.
Is being targeted, but as Roar will fall, that's a big pick. Kind of slows this early momentum by the Junkyard Dawgs. Now they're gonna have to back up, play a little safe as PJ going in wants Flip Flop. She will be able to just teleport to safety, but very aggressive positioning by the side of the Roseville Raiders right now as they swap over to the Reaper.
Yeah, they just realize already notices that he's not able to get as much help with Kevin and Kev as they're being dealt by Fruitals and Roar or whoever, so he needs to try to fend for himself. Or just
etc. in a little bit of trouble. Not is feeling a little bit of hurt as a big rotation by the Junkyard Dawgs trying to find etc. as he grabbles away, but grabbles right into Silent Storm. Will stay alive as Silent Storm instead feeling the pressure as PJ and Artie both falling very low, trying to find Roar in this backline. Roar saved by the big Suzo and heals by Flip Flop as Invictus now being the target of the dive by PJ as they will find him. Artie and etc. falling very low as the Nano and the Trans to keep etc. alive. The bomb comes through by Fruitals trying to find anything. We'll find Kevin Toyota. That's Ana out of this fight as Roar as well finds Kev. There's no support for the sides of the Roseville Raiders. There's a big dive. PJ trying to keep etc. alive, but they use the gate and the blade. The bomb comes through by Purple Jesus as well as the death blast by Artie. They will find Roar in the mech of Fruitals. Fruitals falls on the map and Artie finds Flip Flop. I can't believe that the Roseville Raiders are holding this. Artie feeling a lot of pressure as Invictus will get that big dynamite on him, forced to back up, but he is getting healed up by the Ana, the sights by etc. as well. They know where Invictus is, they know where Soundstorm is. Soundstorm still not having that rally. Invictus does have the bomb to contest, but the Roseville Raiders have stabilized. They're able to set up on here as we see it. Roar going very aggressively, trying to find Artie, but Artie gets the pick on a Roar first. It's now an all-out fight in this inner cabin as the Junkyard Dawgs trying to get the rotation, trying to get the iron, but etc. gets the pick on Invictus. Frutal's trying to find Purple Jesus, but he gets orbed as Artie finds Soundstorm, and Artie's just in the background picking off these the healers. Artie falling very low, but has that Wraith still to escape as PJ still looking for this pick.
Yeah, Artie clutching out so much right then. It reminds me of the Mice Raiders game where Panini almost killed his whole team, and they almost won that fight, but it actually succeeded for the Raiders this time. Yeah, see you in chat, Panini.
Oh, Flip Flop gets that early kill on Kevin Toyota. That's going to be really tough. You're down your Ana. As once again, this rotation by Fruitals on the backline. They're looking for the Zenyatta. Kev doesn't have the Ana to keep him alive, but Artie finds Silent Storm. Kev will fall. You're down your supports, but this is a Raiders that are comfortable with. Purple Jesus in the background is being burnt out by this bomb. We'll get the Mega Fruitals as he has the bomb, but Roar finding two. etc. and Kevin Toyota are back as they do find etc. with another nice headshot by Flip Flop, but another nice headshot by Flip Flop as the Junkyard Dawgs now able to finally sit on this cart. It might be contestable still by Purple Jesus, but we see that really aggressive positioning by Roar.
Yeah, they have the Death Blossom, and Fruitals importantly does not have his mech back as well. They just need to be able to touch the point.
PJ gets a touch and Artie finds Roar. Flip Flop doesn't find etc., but PJ gets demeched on point. Artie is there. They get the pick on Fruitals and Silent Storm. It's just a Flip Flop trying to find Kev. Invictus finds PJ. Flip Flop finds Kev. It's just Kevin Toyota and Flip Flop. Invictus finds Kevin Toyota. Invictus looking for Artie as well as they get the checkpoint. But Artie, Flip Flop is hitting these headshot after headshot after headshot.
She doesn't care about healing the team. She's just in there, just face tanking everything with the Suzu. They're just not able to kill her because they want to touch point. It just allows her to hit all these headshots, which she's really good at doing anyways.
We see their mattresses, but I don't think they're going to be able to touch. It's right there.
He's Nemesis
PJ is running.
already.
He's sprinting. He gets in, but it's a big stun by Sandstorm. They get the touch, but Invictus finds two. Artie and Kevin Toyota are already out of this. The Nano on a Purple Jesus trying to make something happen. Flip Flop finds etc. Silent Storm falls by Purple Jesus as the trans comes through, but the gate as well. The Diva Bomb once again separating on this point. The blade comes through by Roar, trying to find Kev. It will land as PJ now alone in this cart. And this will be a map win for the Junkyard Dogs in a 2-1 banger of a series.
Yeah, 2-1 banger of a series so far, definitely, with clutches out from both sides, really, whether it be etc. Kevin Toyota, Artie on the side of the Raiders too, or even like Rory, Flip Flop, Invictus on the side of the Junkyard Dogs. It's definitely a good match so far. We'll have to see if it continues in this next map.
Yeah, so we'll be right back with you guys here for map 4 on push. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, everybody, as we head into New Queen Street on map 4. We do have a couple compositional changes. We see Viridium in for etc. So we'll see the Viridium Artie DPS line, as well as Kerbology coming back in on the support role. Riddle, how do you think this is going to change things up on this map?
I mean, I can see a lot of this brawl-centric comp as etc. likes to play that hit scan, especially the Widowmaker Ashe, as Viridium and Artie are able to flex around a lot more to whatever etc. is not feeling comfortable doing or he wants to play, as PJ has shown hints of Junker Queen or Ramatra, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it here.
Yeah, so yeah, it looks like you're exactly right, as we do see the Ramatra and the Genji Reaper coming through. As well as the Mercy still for Kerbology on top of the Invictus. You know, I got to have the pleasure of being the Invictus Mercy this season, and it is a lot of fun. So I hope to see from bias, I hope to see them pop off. But we will see Fruitals on the Junker Queens. So brawl matching brawl here with kind of that backline presence of Invictus. So we'll kind of see how what is favored here in New Queen Street, as Kevin Toyota didn't get the memo to go left side, so he's a little bit behind, but Roar, very aggressive positioning, already trying to scout that backline, as Flip Flop as well.
Oh my
looking
gosh,
for Viridium, but PJ is just walking forward, taking so much damage, but so is Fruitals. Forces the TP of Flip Flop to just keep her team alive at that point, as Roar will be the first to fall by a good dive of Viridium, as already forced to Wraith out from the damage of Fruitles. As now Invictus getting pressured by Purple Jesus as this bot starts moving in favor of the Roseville Raiders. Deflect is popped out by Viridium as a big knife on Artie as well, as he'll be topped off slowly. But it's pretty tough without your Tracer to really contest this cart too much, as now Roar does make his way back. But this is a big meatball comp for the side of the Roseville Raiders.
Brutal's almost got his ult. He's 90%. That just shows the strength of this Junker Queen comp this month as well.
Yeah, both DPS of the Roseville Raiders falling very low. As we see the Junker Queen ult coming through, Fruitle's now very deep. Flip-flop is in there well, but the beat is there by Kevin Toyota already as well. Artie will find Fruitles and Viridium finding Flip-flop, and this bot has not stopped yet, as it will capture Butt Scratch for the Roseville Raiders.
Kevin Toyota got his ult before Kev did. Very impressive from the Lucio player of the Raiders too, as a lot of ults are coming online. Fruitles realizes that he just can't face tank everything with how much healing he's getting, so he just goes Ramatra.
Viridium does fall, taking the 2v1 into Roar and Flip-flop, as now Artie feeling the pressure by Roar himself. Doesn't have the Wraith to get away, as now the fight is breaking out in cart. Fruitles swapping over to the Ramatra. We'll find Purple Jesus and Roar finding Kevin Toyota as well. It's now just Kef on this point. Will Suzu just try to stay alive for longer or hold that bot in place, but will eventually fall to those Junkyard Dogs.
Yeah, we're able to find both DPSs early. That fight as well just opens it so wide open for Invictus and Fruitles here as well. With all these ults, you're hoping they don't spend everything.
And Roar with a big pulse bomb, but a good Suzu by Kev keeps the team alive. The Bob is now on point. Purple Jesus finds Fruitles at the start. Viridium and Artie so low. They fall Invictus with a big dynamite, and the Bob will find Purple Jesus as well. Invictus finds Kevin Toyota and the res onto Fruitles, as Invictus finds 3 in just that fight.
You know, I'm not surprised. The Ash Extraordinaire, like in this comp, he just gets so much damage from that, and from the dynamite into this brawl meatball comp, like you're saying. And with the Bob, it just disrupts so much that it's just a shooting ground for him.
Artie taking that 1v1 with Roar in that backline. Roar forced to recall early, but PJ with the Ramatra ult finds Herbology still on here, but they're not on the cart. Cart's still moving, as now the Ramatra and the Genji trying to find Invictus, but they might give a butt scratch for it, as all the rest of the Roseville Raiders are all running over there to help in the fight. They find Roar, they find Invictus, but Fruitles still going. They're still pushing the bot. You can't let them get butt scratch there. Those picks don't mean as much, as they will get it. Fruitles will pop the Nemesis form, and now you still have to wait for that entire animation to finish, and the early spawns will come through. That's disastrous for the Roseville Raiders. Big picks on their parts, but now you gave up so much pressure that you could have already given at the start of here.
Yeah, you have to look how Kevin Toy is able to use this beat as well, with both the Ramatra ult as the Kutini Rush coming online. It's gonna be crucial. He uses this.
Suzu will come out, keep Purple Jesus alive, but Kef being a lot of pressure. Artie though finds Roar first, as we will see Fruitles forced to back up a little bit. He does have his Nemesis form as well as Flip-flop on him, but they're looking for the Invictus. They're looking for Herbology. Herbology will be the first to fall, as Invictus is soon to follow up, as now Artie in that background trying to find Flip-flop and Fruitles. They're putting so much damage in him, forces the teleport away, and the blade as well. The pulse bomb comes from Roar. Won't find anything as Viridium. Big blade will clean up too. Those are really big staggers as well, as now Viridium and Purple Jesus are going to be able to walk up, take this space, and it's going to take a while for Fruitles to be back with that all-important ult.
Yeah, the Bob Valkyrie coming online with this Annihilation as well. Nice picks up from Viridium. It's just to see how they have to respond to this.
We do see Bob come out as well as a big, but Artie with such a blossom finding 3, Viridium finding the 4th of his own. They can use Gate, they beat, and Beyblade there, but PJ now has that Ramatra ult to match Fruitles, as well as Roar swapping over to the Mei, as this bot is still walking forward. Invictus though, big pick on Viridium, and Roar finds Artie. That's the DPS line out for the side of the Roseville Raiders as Herbology uses that Valkyrie, trying to ensure this fight win as Roar and Fruitles cleaning up Kef and Purple Jesus respectively. So really good fight there for the Junkyard Dogs.
Yeah, it's really just what they need. They're backs up against the wall in their spawn. They needed something. Fruitles still has this annihilation after, I want to say, 3 fights now.
I mean, the nice thing is he was able to hold it after that fight, right? It's kind of tough that he's had to hold it for so long, but having it here is going to be so good for them. If they're able to win this fight, this is going to be a lot of momentum for the Junkyard Dogs. As a wall from War will separate Purple Jesus, causing him to fall so quickly as Invictus is able to follow up onto Kef. And again, they're able to just hold this annihilation. Viridium and Artie getting zoned off quite a bit as Kevin Toyota forced to run away. Viridium will find Flip-Flop. So that's a pick you'll take, but Roar will send him back to spawn. And the resurrection from Herbology will bring Flip-Flop back into this fight. But now you have the Gate, you have the Blizzard, you're going to be up on Bob soon, and you have the Annihilation for the Junkyard Dogs. This is still a very winnable situation for them. They just need 2 clean fight wins, and they should be able to cap here.
It's completely doable with these 4 ults they have online. This Annihilation needs to be huge for PJ.
That's an early Suzu out as the Annihilation from Fruitles does come out. PJ is there to match it as Roar sends out his Blizzard, but Roar is the first one to fall. Fruitles will get Purple Jesus on the back of it because Kevin Toyota is frozen up. Kevin Toyota will then also fall. Herbology with the Resin to Roar, so Roar's able to stay alive. Kev, Artie, and Viridium all falling so low. Artie is the first to fall. Kev able to teleport out as Viridium now in a little bit of trouble. Will fall as well as now PJ swapping over the ball, just trying to save time. He knows that this bot is going to be able to keep pushing forward. They have the Bob. Trying to solve time. Kevin Toyota's there.
Kevin can't die.
Spotted.
Kevin dies.
Oh.
They do have the Kitsune Rush at least. Oh, he doesn't get it off. Just get it off. They're all so low. I don't know if this is doable right now. As the Bob
comes out as well, try to fight on this point, clean up a little bit. Kevin Toyota taking a lot of damage from it, will die. Invictus with a shot. Herbology able to just pop that Valk to make sure her team stays alive as now Roar finding Artie, Fruitles finding Kev, the Gate, not gonna be able to find anything. PJ trying his best to just make something happen on his card as he'll fall. The blade comes up by Viridium, will find Flip-Flop, that's the first one you need. He's looking for anything else, will find Roar. Herbology has the res, but Kevin Toyota and Viridium both fall. Artie with the ult, but the Suzu will take up most of it, and Fruitles as well, and that Nemesis are able to just eat so much of it. Purple Jesus is back, gets the big slam, trying to find this damage. Flip-Flop will teleport away, and Fruitles has that Annihilation to keep this fight going, stay alive. Herbology falling very low, but the mines are there, and Fruitles will fall. Herbology falls as well, and the Raiders are still leading on this map with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, but they're in desperation mode as now Roar swapping over to Legs, and Viridium swapping over onto the Cassidy as Purple Jesus though finding Invictus early. That's really good for the Roseville Raiders as Viridium as well fighting Flip-Flop. They're gonna be able to get rid of these early spawns. Fruitles as well swapping over to the Diva.
Yeah, I mean, the only upside really of this whole thing for the Dogs is that the Raiders used all their ults. They have their Kitsune Rush coming online, but it was a huge, massive blade.
Ooh, big slam onto Invictus. Invictus in a little bit of trouble. Will force PJ to walk away though. It's now Artie looking for blood. He's trying to sniff out any of this backline. He's looking for the soldier. Pops out. Oh, but Viridium falls to Invictus. Artie not able to find Roar as well, or Roar able to just run away. The Suzu onto Fruitles keeps Fruitles alive as well as Artie and PJ so low. Kev isn't able to heal both of them as now Artie will be the first one to fall. Kev now falls as well. PJ trying to hold on to this point, but this will be a wipe now. And now you have Bob, Gate, and Sights and Valkyrie here for the Junkyard Dogs.
The Raiders season is on the line right now. Single elim. They're down 1 map to 1. They need to win this fight or their season is over. And they're going against 4 ults. A miracle needs to happen, like I was saying, but it needs to be a miracle of the season.
The Gate comes out. Purple Jesus forced to use both of his bubbles so early. The visor is popped. The Suzu's there. Viridium forced to go on the wall. Kev finds Roar. Roar doesn't get Kevin Toyota, so there's no Lucio in this fight. The Bob will find Purple Jesus as well. Flip-Flop finds Viridium. The res onto Roar is there. Artie finds Invictus. Meanwhile, in the backline, it's just Artie and Kev against the world. Kev trying to find anything. He has the Gate. Artie on his back. He's so low. Artie, if he builds up this ult, it could be winnable, but the Diva's alive. Kevin Toyota's there. He's keeping his team alive. Roar! Artie with the big blossom! Kevin Toyota finds Flip-Flop as well. Fruitles forced to use the bomb, but Artie
Artie's immortal on the Reaper. He just die. He just die.
Oh my gosh. Fruitles was spending so much of his DM to keep the rest of his team alive during that fight that they didn't even think about the Reaper. He didn't have any DM left, and so Artie was able to build up that ult, find 3 off of it. And the Raiders clawing and scratching their way. They want this win. They want to go to the next match in the season, taking on the 5th seed. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our map 5. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our map 5 in this 5th seed versus 12th seed slugfest. We'll be going to Oasis. I believe week 1 was Oasis, correct? As our 2CP map.
As our Koth map, I think you may be right.
So we are taking it back to where it started. Both teams, this is the last time we will see one of these teams in this league. What do you want to see here, Riddle?
I mean, Artie and Viridian both popping out so much, with whether it be the Death Blossom or the Blade, Dragon Blade as well, just like you said, clawing their way back from nothing really. You will see it Cedric come back over Artie, as well as he goes over to the Mei in this rush comp that they have with double flex support.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see a good old slugfest brawl fest as we see the Reinhardt versus Ramatra. Mei on both teams and Invictus onto the Sim over the Reaper of Viridium. Early teleport as Invictus does swap over to the Sojourn. Just provide a little bit more damage if he hits those rail shots. Early aggression, Frutal's able to get there first as the Junkyard Dog. A little bit of miscommunication as the wall by Roar, not able to get the pin through by Frutals as the nade is forced by Kevin Toyota to keep the team alive as well. But etc. Gets Silent Storm. And Viridium as well. They find Frutals. It's not just Roar on this point. Has the ice block. Flip-flop able to just chunk in some damage, chunk in some healing. But Roar's still alive. They didn't really punch him after getting out of that. but they should be able to find the Baptiste and the Mayhair. There's a big wall by both Roar and etc. to try to find each other, but etc. so low, has to back up. But Kevin, Toyota, and Kev having so much healing already. A Silent Storm needs to be a little bit careful. Another wall by Roar. They're walking onto Kevin Toyota, but the Suzu's there, as well as the Nemesis form by Purple Jesus. Does get pinned by Fruitals. So, Purple Jesus in a little bit of trouble, will fall as Silent Storm getting the finishing blow, etc. as well on that point, forced to freeze up as it will swap over for the Junkyard Dogs, but not after, not until 30% is going over to the Raiders.
So much damage everywhere. Both supports almost have all supports almost have their ults here. The DPS and tanks coming online as well. It's gonna be a big ult fight here. As it's nice disengage from the Dogs early on that fight.
Yes, so a big wall by Roar to separate Viridium as it does force out Viridium as the Blizzard comes through by etc. Will freeze on Fruitals as PJ as well finding Silent Storm. Roar will find etc. on the back of it, but Kevin Toyota finding Fruitals as now it's just the Baptiste and the Viridium popping that ult. Making sure they take that point. They do not want Flip Flop to be alive here. As now Roar and the Ramatra ult. Jesus, they really want Invictus.
What are they cooking?
The Raiders want this point.
Maybe a little too much. They really did not need to use that Annihilation and Death Blossom there. I mean, they only have the Kitsune Rush online against the Overclock, Amplification Matrix, Shatter coming on the beat. It's gonna be really rough for the Raiders here because the position they put themselves in.
Listen, they worked with Miracles before as we see the gate coming through the wall as well to separate Flip Flop from the team. The lamp is already forced as Fruitals and Roar both get anti. They're gonna fall early. The Overclock by Invictus not able to find anything yet as Kev finds Silent Storm. And you were talking.
I mean, they just used Overclock. Fruitals didn't use his Shatter or Flip Flop their window, and with this super nice Kitsune Rush as well as a huge wall from etc. They're just able to do it. The shield out from Purple Jesus early in that fight, which prevents Fruitals from hitting any Shatter, really. I mean, they're playing it really well for the position they're putting themselves in each of these maps.
I'm watching Fruitals. I want to see this Shatter. The B comes through from Fire and Storm. The Shatter comes down, but it gets walled! That's a huge wall! The window comes through as well. They're trying to find any damage here, but the Fruitals is slapped immediately as etc. finds Roar. Flip Flop looking for Viridium will find it. As the ice wall by etc. Purple Jesus falls very low. Invictus with a headshot, but etc. is on the point. Big anti on the Fruitals. But they get 99. Junkyard Dogs will end up winning that fight, but they had to use everything there.
Yeah, I mean, they've only got these DPS ults coming online. They don't even have that yet. With this Nano Annihilation, Annihilation clears. It's so powerful. I wouldn't be surprised if that just wins this whole round outright.
We don't want to cast a curse yet though. So we do
surely.
Etc. Taking that kind of off angle, trying to look for something here. Fruitals getting pressured a little bit as the Nano onto Ramatra, and the wall is missed. We do see that Nano Annihilation as he's on Fruitals. He's on Roar. The Blizzard comes through by Roar to try to keep the team alive as the wall by etc. The High Noon by Invictus won't be able to find anything. Etc. still has his Blizzard too. He throws it out, trying to find Roar. Fruitals with the pin, but he dies to etc. first. The gate as well by Kef. As the point is slipping over to the Raiders, Invictus will fall to Purple Jesus. It's just Roar on this point as he's getting antied. Flip Flop's there. She has the lamp, but she will fall. It's just Roar against the world. He will fall, and the Raiders with that first map take.
You know, the Nano Annihilation didn't clear like I thought. PJ, with that Blizzard, the nice Blizzard from Roar, he wasn't able to run on everyone he was able to. So...
But maybe that's the thing though, is everyone was so worried about that Nano Ramatra ult, they just didn't look at Viridium and etc.
Yeah, I mean, it got the job done. It's not as clean as you would hope from PJ, but it works. The power of friendship is coming in clutch right now.
As we do see a switch to the full dive, etc. on the Sombra, Viridium on the Genji. If they play this like they played Numbani, it's gonna be very tough for this side of the Junkyard Dogs. They swap themselves over to a more dive oriented play style. as we see both divas trying to take this high ground. Roar trying to find something, looking the back, trying to find Kev, is forced to recall already as etc. hacking up the diva, but etc. will fall after nice shots by Invictus. Frutals is hacked up on that high ground as well as PJ. But you are down your Sombra. That's a significant amount of damage as well as pressure on the backline that you're going to be missing, as now Viridium in the background falling very low, has to deflect, but Silencearm with a nice whip shot. So Viridium will fall, as now PJ in the background will find Flip-Flop, but he should end up dying here as Roar able to clean that up a little bit and etc. forced to run away on legs.
Yeah, really nice shots coming out from both Invictus and Roar here. Onto all of the Raiders, really. I saw Invictus clicking heads just repeatedly on the Cassidy. As etc. moves over to the Soldier, it's not worth it. It's going to be so hard with Silencearm on the Brig to play the Sombra. He just figured it's not worth it.
Yeah, we see the dive onto Invictus. Viridium and PJ both looking for him, but Viridium is first to fall by Frutals, and PJ soon to fall. Kev is killed by Roar, and the counter dive by the Junkyard Dawgs is so effective.
I mean,
Raiders need to maybe reanalyze what to do here.
It's like PJ and Viridium are going in, but they're not waiting for Kevin Toyota and Kev to set up, really. They're going while they're still in arches, and there's no sightlines onto them. It's just really a death sentence that they're putting themselves in.
We will see very early high ground control here for the Junkyard Dawgs, as Triple Jesus going for a little bit poke here, trying to scout out this Tracer, keep the backline alive as Frutals as well, kind of matching him. We will see a Pulse Bomb in this fight, trying to hopefully land it on either the Ana or the Zenyatta. As now PJ going on the high ground, trying to find Invictus, as the Pulse Bomb will find etc. So etc. now out of this fight, that's the main source of your damage right now, as now Purple Jesus kind of left alone. He doesn't have that remech yet, so he's still trying to fight on this point. Silencearm as well, keeping the team alive. Nice chunks by him, as etc. is now just free to click heads. Flip-Flop as well, finding Kevin Toyota. You're down your Ana, Roar finds Viridium, and the Raiders are kind of crumbling on this map of Oasis.
The Dogs only use their Pulse Bomb. They have every other ult online now. I mean, the Dogs have faced this once before, 4 ults v like none. So, but now Nano at noon.
Yeah.
Can they even touch?
Purple Jesus is able to get the touch, as Kevin Toyota does find Roar. That's a good early pick. Invictus finds etc. though. But the rally is there by Silencearm. Kev finds Invictus as Flip-Flop finds Kevin Toyota, but Flip-Flop in a lot of trouble as Purple Jesus is on them. The trans by Kev keeping this fight alive, as Purple Jesus now trying to find Silencearm, as a good fight is right now going for the Raiders. It's just Frutals, but Frutals will find Kev. Now it's just PJ and Frutals on this point, as the swap over to Symmetra by etc. And the point will swap, and that was all of the ults, but Roar has a Pulse Bomb again.
I guess the Dogs just lose whenever they use only, like, specifically 4 ults. If they do that, it's over. It's like a curse they've got going. Whoa. I don't know, PJ just barely getting that touch as well. And because Kev fell so early, he wasn't even able to use the Nano, which is good in hindsight because they had the Transcendence up, but...
Viridium with a very aggressive poke there. PJ keeping him alive after the Frutals dive. Roar looking for this Pulse Bomb is scouted out by Kevin Toyota, trying to put pressure on him as the Nano comes on to Purple Jesus, trying to find Frutals, but Frutals has a lot of the Pulse Bomb will miss. So Roar, the Pulse Bomb, not able to find anything. A Silencearm is the first to fall by Purple Jesus. The bomb comes through to keep Purple Jesus alive, allowed for the remech. As now the point is still in staunch control of the Roseville Raiders. It's just Frutals right now, trying to really contest them too much. Flip-Flop there, throws out the Bionade, won't find anything, as Purple Jesus and Frutals are still just finding out, but the Ana can't see PJ. Oh, the bomb! Oh, and they find Kev! And PJ doesn't have the sightlines. He needs to be so careful. The Ana is being pressured so much and will fall. Frutals finding 2 there, as now PJ will blow up on point, and this should be Junkyard Dawgs taking it to 1-on-1 on this map 5. Oh man!
I mean, the Raiders, they didn't know how to attack that for so long, and then a lot of the Dogs were like, you know, it's last fight, they won't touch, we can give up high ground, right? Early. And then PJ touches, and then they lose it. So, they just need to get Invictus and Silence from that whole, like, squad up there off the high ground. And in this Gardens map, it should be a lot easier as it's a lot easier. You just go through hookah and up the stairs instead of over and through the jump pad and everything.
We do see the swaps to brawl for both teams except Fruitles still opting to go on the D.Va and Roar, matching with the Tracer still. So it will be the compositions that won for both teams right now going at it. Do you like the brawl or the dive better on this third map?
Gotta like the brawl, I think, as long as they can just focus someone and doing like they've done with Etcetera's walls here. They're gonna be able to do really, really good here.
Brutal's almost booped off as now the Nemesis form by PJ is forced. Kev!
PJ's just walking in.
He's just trying to pressure this honest
Invictus wakes.
sleep. Viridium in trouble as PJ as well, so low, etc. is so low as well. But Viridium is the first one to find the pick on the Silent Storm. Now Frutal's in trouble. The Tracer's in, trying to find anything, but the Purple Jesus somehow still alive. Will follow the Roar eventually, but now it's just Roar on this point against 4. He will fall to Kev. Flip-flop in this lower skills, etc. Trying to take the Jewel, but Silent Storm finds Viridium. Kev finds Flip-flop, and it's just so sloppy right now. Kev will fall to the Magnetic Grenade. Etc. doesn't touch.
Invictus able to find 3 after PJ pressures him and Flip-flop back so far. He tries to go through under, that doesn't work, so he just goes back through hookah, and they don't expect it.
So we have a high noon for the side of the Junkyard Dogs, and we have a Ramatra ult coming up soon for Purple Jesus. So we'll see early pressure onto the D.Va a little bit, forced to fly away as Roar is now in the back line. He's looking for Kevin Toyota. Kevin Toyota having to be a big anti on etc. Forces the Mei block. The wall won't find any other. Big pulse bomb finds 2. Roar as asleep as well into Purple Jesus. We'll kind of ensure this fight goes through as Fruitles find etc. The D-Mech does come through as Purple Jesus is opting to jump off the map. Fruitles won't have the mech for this fight, but also just jumps off.
He decides to reset just to get his mech back, but that's big for the Raiders because he resets so late. They're going to be able to get there before Fruitles does. I mean, Silent Storm's picking him up, but...
Which means now Silent Storm isn't here for this fight. As long as Kevin Toyota just rushes in, they should be able to walk onto Kevin Toyota and Invictus. But the big beat by Kevin Toyota, the high noon is there, won't find anything, as well as the nano onto him. Big sleep on a Purple Jesus, so Purple Jesus won't be in the fight. The gate does come through, or the gate and the blizzard coming through, excuse me, to take this high ground, as now the Junkyard Dog's forced to drop back up. Purple Jesus trying to find Fruitles here, putting a lot of pressure on him, but big anti onto Viridium, and Purple Jesus is forced to be Suzured as now the big wall by etc. to keep the team alive. As the Annihilation comes through, they will find Flip-flop, they will find Invictus. Silent Storm, though, is being unpunished right now on this high ground. Fruitles as well in the background, trying to find Kevin Toyota, isn't able to find anything. Silent Storm being pressured down by this Mei. Fruitles will get demeched, but it's 94%. They need to get this point.
The Raiders need to win every fight from now on, or their season is over.
Oh, man. Oh, I can't wait for this to be 99-99. 1-1 map 5.
I mean, we could see an Ajax here from Silent Storm, or we could see a really good beat to deal with this Death Blossom as Viridium's hiding in the Suka as well. But
Silent Storm is playing very aggressive right now. The rest of his team isn't really with him. They might be able to catch him out early, but
they're going main.
They did decide to all rotate main, but Silent Storm is in! If they find him, there's not going to be a beat this fight! The Pulse Bomb isn't able to find anything, and Silent Storm falls! Viridium will find 1 off of his ult, so Purple is able to just walk in as now Fruitles will fall. So now there's a blizzard, you have a beat of your own, and again, Silent Storm falling early, that's so disastrous for the Junkyard Dogs. As in 50% and counting.
They got the ult rotation right now. I mean, Silent Storm playing way too aggressive right there, and the Raiders able to recognize that and masterfully punish him as well before he's able to even get the beat off. Is that is looking to use this blizzard?
Fruitles taking a very early high ground. Silent Storm is with him. Kevin Toyota being burnt down by Flip-flop needs to be careful so he doesn't lose the beat of his own. Rory's in there. Viridium falling low. We'll see center finds Flip-flop. The gate of the beat.
Beat only finds Silent Storm and Fruitles. The bomb comes off of Fruitles. He's able to get the remake off.
It's 82%.
Back from spawn.
The Junkyard Dogs either need to back out right now or they need to win this fight.
The Raiders
They
need
do
to
opt
push
to
the
back up.
advantage.
But they have Annihilation, they have Blizzard. They're just facing down the Nano and Noon for the side of the Junkyard Dogs. This is a win over both teams. We're approaching that 99-99 as now Silent Storm is in the backline. He's trying to find etc. He gets the touch.
Ball comes
We see
out.
the Nano as well as the Annihilation of Purple Jesus. Brutal's getting burned out so low. The Blizzard comes through. The Purple
finds
Jesus
Invictus.
Cat finds Invictus. Flip-flop also falls. Brutal's gets D-Max. etc. so low. Silent Storm
Kevin's
still in
blind.
there, trying to find anything, but Brutal's falls.
Iridium.
Iridium gets the pick. Silent Storm is trying to find Zedra. He was still
Go
stay
for
alive.
the cap.
Silent alive.
Hell-
Silent Storm falls. It's just Roar on point. It's just the Tracer. Can they find the Tracer? Oh, they got him. It's just the one. The Raiders win. The Raiders win. The 12th seed just knocked out the 5th seed. Oh my God. What a match.
Everyone's brackets in shambles right
Not
now.
mine, baby. Not mine, baby. I'm just kidding.
I know a lot of people were thinking that this season the line between the 7th and 8th teams is just so wide. Like the Dogs would just be dominating the Raiders here, but they're down at Kua as well with that huge clutch factor. Not saying that Invictus didn't have those moments, but the Raiders punching so far above their weight. No, I don't think anyone really expected that, except I know Mikey did. Mikey believed. So, an absolutely crazy match. Possibly the best one this season.
Yeah, and all playoff games so far being 5-map bangers. So no one go anywhere because we're gonna have another great match here starting very soon.
Yep, it's a doubleheader.
First,
We got the Washington Overwatch team. First Paris Paper Planes.
First, we need to pick our player of the match, and I have a couple thoughts in my head, but Riddle, I want to hear some of your thoughts here for player of the match.
I mean, everyone on the Raiders clutching up exactly when they needed to. Everyone on the DPS line, PJ, Kevin, Kev. I couldn't just give it to one person, but I think I have like one or two. I'm thinking Kevin or Kev maybe, because just with all the damage and everything from the Dogs, they're able to keep everyone up when they needed.
Yeah, I think those are great great points. I agree. They were facing such pressure from the DPS line, as well as pretty much a dedicated Tracer in their backline that entire time. But Kev and Kevin both staying alive, keeping each other alive, importantly, and still enabling PJ to go in on that rampage of his own. So I would definitely also choose from one of the two of them. I also want to give just a quick shout out to Artie. Again, having kind of that clutch factor in so many of these fights. He had ridiculous blossoms in this series. So
Yeah.
big ups to Artie. But I think between Kevin, Toyota, and Kev, I personally would give it to Kev there on the Zenyatta. I think the Discord orbs were able to enable Viridium, Purple Jesus so much, and Artie, right? And he was able to kick away a lot of that pressure on him and Kevin Toyota. So I was a doubter of the Zenyatta at the start, but Kev proved me wrong time and time again. So I don't know if we're going to be able to pull him in or have time for an interview, as again, we are kind of on the clock here. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Hello, Kev. Congratulations on your win tonight.
Thank you.
And a bigger congratulations on being our match MVP of this evening. How are you feeling?
Wonderful. That was a great game. Just a little stressful, but you know.
Just a
little.
I was stressed out and I wasn't even playing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can start out just our mini interview here as we saw a lot of this Zenyatta today, and I think Riddle was talking to me during the map breaks, and normally you're on the flex support on Kiri and stuff, right? Normally, but I think you guys were kind of swapping stuff today. Was that like a decision, or were you playing stuff that you do normally play and we were just wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just like to play everything. But yeah, I'd mostly play flex and Kevin usually just like plays whatever he wants, and I'm like, okay, you got that.
And, well, it worked tonight.
Yeah.
When you guys were in your last couple moments there, I specifically want to talk about the push map fight, where already had that big blossom. And what was going through kind of the collective comms and kind of team mentality coming into that last fight, knowing you're facing down so much ult pressure and overtime with a meter remaining on that push spot. What was that atmosphere like in that call?
Desperation. I was just trying to get those touches and trying to stall as long as we could. Because I knew we had some ults coming, but...
Yeah, you're able to get that Kitsune online with already able to get that Kitsune Blossom as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. The 12th seed taking on the 5th seed here. And an absolutely crazy upset.
Shout out to Captain.
Shout out to Captain.
The reason we do this.
I know not many people were believers, but I knew Mikey. If there was one believer, it was Mikey. He was telling us Red Pandas.
Yeah, because now this next week he gets to troll us, and But I mean, it'll be fun. I hope.
If you play like you played today,
maybe
you can be the dark horse of the season.
Yeah, the Miami Heat.
Yeah,
real.
Definitely.
So with that, we'll take it to El Clasico before we head into our double header. If you were not the match MVP today, if you were not the match MVP today, who on your team would you choose, and then why?
Well, I think Kevin was definitely John was definitely 6th man of the year. RD with the clutch blossom. I think MVP probably have to be the captain with the great calls. He had the comps prep for us and everything, and he was able to calm even with his mom breathing down his shoulder. So.
Very difficult thing to do, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well that does it for our interview here. Good luck in your next match. I know you're going against the Red Pandas, so.
Well, we'll have to see with the picking after this.
Yeah, well.
Well.
I have a feeling.
I'm expecting a Red Pandas Roseville Raiders matchup. So, regardless, good luck in your next games. We'll let you return to your team, do some celebrating. You guys definitely deserve it. So,
yeah.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, I think for the rest of us here in the casting booth, I'm not entirely sure what's gonna go on, but we're either going to do a little. Okay, we're gonna take 15 minutes. It's gonna be a 10 p.m. start time for the. Is it gonna be a new stream, Booney?
No, it will be. So
it will be a new stream. So
it will be. So it's gonna be me and Flambo on the cast for that match, and then this next one will be Booney Prod, just like this last one, but it will be Panini and Booney on the cast as well for the Washington Overwatch team and versus the Paris Paper Planes.
That is correct. So, for me and Riddle, that's all of us for tonight, as you will be left with the esteemed Booney and Panini here for your next game. But for me and Riddle, I'm very happy that we were able to cast this one. This is an incredible match. So we'll see all you guys at 10 p.m. Stay safe, at least until then. Tune back in, make your preds, get the gambling addict roll. And from me and Riddle anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Yes.
And we'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Bye-bye.